You hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Very nice. Tell me what brings you to the meetup today?
Um, for a social circle.
Awesome.
I'm sorry.
Social circle.
Oh, super, super. Just give us a couple of minutes. We're going to be starting very in a minute. So, where are you joining from?
No idea, sir.
No, as in which city are you from?
Okay, I am from Mumbai.
Mumbai? Nice, nice.
Ah, nice.
Today actually I'm starting uh, YouTube live also because we got a lot of people who are interested in the meetups and in talking about crypto and everything. So we're going to be adding YouTube and streaming on
Hello,
YouTube.
my. Hi, Manish.
Hi guys, good evening. Welcome to the meetup, Instacrypto's meetup, and this is a weekly meetup, and we have this every week, and we talk about cryptocurrencies. We talk about everything that is like Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, mainly, of course, and everything to do with cryptocurrency. And today is like a festival day for everybody in India, and I think it's a holiday. So hope to see more people joining us here. And yeah, let me start with introducing myself. I'm Vikram Nikam. I'm the CEO of Instacrypto. Instacrypto is an instant crypto exchange. We allow Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, and Ethereum to be bought and sold for Indian rupees instantly via UPI. And being UPI, it makes it simple and instant by paying. So we make sure that we send you also crypto instantly. Vice versa, when you want to sell your crypto via Instacrypto, you can send it to Instacrypto by making an order on the app, and then instantly you would receive your INR in your bank account. So with Instacrypto, there is a few new features like Ink Token. The Ink Token is something that we gave as referrals and rewards for your orders and for referring people to Instacrypto. Yes, that's just one of the beginnings, but of course, when you use the app, you will see there's a lot more features that's there, which is really unique to compare to the rest of the exchanges. The idea is to just get you the via Instacrypto instantly some cryptocurrencies for INR, and vice versa. We don't have to like go through a trading platform, complicated engines where if you don't know that, you don't have to worry about it. Via Instacrypto, it makes it very simple. So hey, yes, and some of the few features of Instacrypto I would like to mention. We do not provide wallets just so that your crypto is secure with you. We do not hold your crypto and expose it to hacking and loss. That's something which we don't want to do. The more we allow you to hold your own crypto, the more you learn about it, the more you understand how to secure a cryptocurrency and what wallets are good. 99% of the wallets, non-custodial wallets that are available online are all made well. And there are so many choices out there, is why we decided not to provide one, so that you can leverage the nice wallets availability which is out there. In Instacrypto, we have an instant buy and sell via UPI only. So if somebody says that they are Instacrypto and they are going to allow you to buy via card, debit card, or even allow you to hold Bitcoins in their wallet, do not trust them. We do not provide any wallets, or we do not allow credit card or debit card payments for any cryptocurrency. Only UPI payments. So hey, yeah, that was the brief one. So we can talk about a few more things on the go. But yes, let's start the meetup. Welcome, guys.
Hey, Vikram.
Hi, Kuldeep. So Kuldeep and me, we go a long way. We've had many meetups together, including physical meetups when Kuldeep used to be in Bangalore. Looking forward to having you back, man, so that we can start our physical. Even I was thinking about going back to it. Before going back to it, I thought let's just give some good time and then see once you start again. I don't want to just abruptly stop because of the medical hassles or whatever that's going on. So once clear,
Yeah,
you know what's going on, right?
yeah, good way to go.
Totally. So, and in terms of our meetup, we this time I changed the name a little bit to make it AMA, Ask Me Anything. So in terms of cryptocurrency, you know the three major cryptocurrencies that's out there, right? Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, and Ethereum. So we kind of have the experts here who worked on that particular coin, like Kuldeep is one of them who's mastered Ethereum to build an Ethereum exchange, decentralized. You guys here, or you want to ask anything about cryptocurrency, we'll try and answer as much as possible for you.
Yeah,
So Manish and Ms. Doshi, I'm Labdhi Doshi, is that right?
Yes, it's Labdi Doshi.
Great. Welcome you guys to the meetup, and you guys are the first ones. I think I've not seen you guys before here at the meetup. So what interests you in
Yeah, this is my first time.
great stuff. So when did you come across Bitcoin and cryptocurrency? What interests you to come to the meetup?
So maybe the content, like I have maybe installed the Meetup few weeks before only, and my motive for installing the app was for social circle only. I really have no clue what make me interested in Instagram. Crypto.
Okay, so Instacrypto is just a company. We actually provide exchange services from INR to crypto for Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, and Ethereum. So, in terms of not knowing about Instacrypto, I can totally understand. But have you heard about Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash or Ethereum in the past?
No, sir.
Never heard of them? Okay.
No.
So it's
So
specific to
yeah,
what.
great opportunity.
Go on, Kuldeep. I'd like you to explain a little bit in basic there.
Yeah, sure. So the way we currently the current system works is we work on INR, right? Indian rupees, and individual currency for each country or so, or territory. The Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, and likewise currencies are basically in a way global currencies, which are driven by mathematics. So Bitcoin basically was born in 2008, and so it's been around 10, 11 years, and the total number of supply of Bitcoin is around 21 million. And there is a mechanism called mining, just like there's a mechanism for new rupees or new dollars to be printed into the market. Just like that, Bitcoin has its way of printing called mining, and around 18.5 million Bitcoin are already in current supply. So this provides a entirely new market and a new global, exploiting the real globalization. So that gives a entirely new realm to uh, new financial products or different products, which, which can be truly revolutionary. Does it make sense, Labdi?
Yes, I understood what it is. I got the
Great.
idea.
And awesome.
So yeah, thank you very much, Kuldeep. That was pretty clear. And in terms of having a parallel economy, this cryptocurrency comes very handy. It's actually not as so needed in India than the West. If you see in the West, a lot of people who understand cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash and Ethereum, they love these products for a reason because they were so looking forward to having an alternative. Because the system of money or the system of finance that's there in their countries are very slow and sluggish, and they're not able to meet the needs of the economics that they or the commerce they manage with their internet, because internet makes them quick and easy to make and do commerce online. And suddenly, when the payments system comes into play, it's not necessarily as quick, and it is like the olden times, like how the post office used to do emails before. So when that mismatch happens, they were like so looking forward to having an alternative. And when Bitcoin came along in 2008 as white paper, and then eventually as launched in 2009, some of them are just like couldn't like believe that yes, this is like a great alternative. And from then on, they have even quit jobs to pursue cryptocurrencies since then. So there are a lot of advantages. It's if I compare it to anything in this world today, I can compare cryptocurrencies to internet itself. How internet made it easy for communications for the whole world. Cryptocurrency is making payments, settlements, value transfer for everybody in the world as simple and easy as how internet made it with communication. So that's like the basics. I hope you got that a little bit to grasp. And we have another person who joined. Akshata is also another person who joined, and also Manish. Any of you guys want to like jump in and introduce yourself and what brings you to the meetup? So Akshata Shukla, can you hear us? Or Manish?
You can also type. Oh,
Okay, Manish, I can understand your mic is not working. Fair enough. You can, of course, leave a comment like the way you just did. For any kind of things that you want to talk about or ask, just leave a message there. Akshata is nice to know that you're a student, and yeah, if your mic is fine, then you can just switch on your mic and then speak to us. Okay, so clear that we know that your mics are not working, so we can go ahead. So it's just I can start with something which is locally or internationally happening with crypto. The latest news that I came across, did you hear about this, Kuldeep, that Nigeria, they kind of like downloads the highest number of wallets for the past month?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that is surprising.
It is, right? So I always believe that yes, the third world nations that we call it, because of their difficulty in finance, are really in
Yeah,
need of
true.
this kind of alternative, right? So you deem them as a third world nation or developing nation for a reason because you restricted the value transfer mechanism in that country and did not allow it to grow. So eventually, when the crypto comes along, it's 100% superior, right? It's like post office and lower grade of post office is given to countries like Africa and India and some islands. Why I say that is because clearly, if I send money from India to a remote island in somewhere in Caribbean, it takes 6 months for my money to reach there. How ridiculous is that?
Yeah,
And to
exactly.
do the same kind of money transfer sitting in London or in New York, I was experiencing it there when I was working in UK for 6 years, 7 years that I worked for the Hilton in England. You can send money instantly to anywhere in the world and receive money from anywhere in the world much, much faster and quicker than the other nations that you've named third world and developing nations. So obviously you're allowing Western world to make quicker transactions and movement of money is faster. You definitely go to stay ahead of the game at all times, right? So
Agree.
countries like Africa was left out because it was not at all easy for Africans to move value around within their country, within their continent, and also outside the continent. So now that they have cryptocurrency and it's been 10 years now, 10, 12 years of the inception of Bitcoin, and and 12 years, I think, is given enough time for them to understand and then now leap ahead of everybody else in the usage. And I can see that the first ever was Nigeria. Last month, they have much more downloads than any other country in the world for that month. Obviously, you can tell like Nigeria is just one country in Africa, right? There are like what 50 plus, some 60 close to countries, and it's only a matter of time that when everybody catches on and then the world changes completely. Like because you allow more easy payments and settlements and value transfer, it's just the whole country just booms in commerce and in development.
Agreed. Totally agreed. The
So
figure is around $34.4 million in 90 days
of what
of peer-to-peer transaction of Bitcoin.
amazing, amazing.
Yeah,
So it's
totally.
just the tip of the iceberg, isn't it? Like those people who are doing those transfers are still well known to the crypto space and they know what is Bitcoin, paying ready to pay the fees and everything. Suddenly, if all the masses come in to use, then all cryptos are going to be used to make sure that
Yeah,
then you save on those fees that Bitcoin charges so high. And eventually, that's like the gateway to how new economics is going to be written down. History will be the paper. So we would definitely want to get away from the paper is because the history has shown that the few who had control of the printing press thought they could control the whole world. It's time for the computers to take control of that, right? No more printing press.
in some way they did.
Yeah, yeah. So I was I had just remembered a point to make and I totally forgot. So not to worry,
Ah,
we'll talk about it. I'll remember now. So in a way, the crypto way started off because they wanted to remove the trust system. So that's what made cryptocurrency popular in the white paper and just after the white paper, because till that time, anyone who tried an alternative currency for the masses to be used and to ease the financial traffic They were all centralized. So a power like Federal Bank and New York, because they're in control of the finance of the world, they wouldn't want anybody else to run a parallel system, right? So for them to come and shut you down was very easy because most of it who started before 2008 were all centralized coins, maybe gold cash or e-cash, gold money. There are many names. Many people tried alternative currencies. Even it was even digital cryptocurrency kind of a thing, but still they did not succeed, is because they were all centralized. So the first ever decentralized system was just had to catch up, catch on, and then take on the big players. So it's all collective. It's not with just one person. Decentralized is, of course, the nature of it. Uh, with many people being part of it, it's the network effect which makes sure it gives a stronger resilience, on bigger resilience in terms of making sure that it survives and it stays and it continues to serve the public in simple format, like just moving value around without a trust system. So yeah, that was the point that I remembered just now. Kuldeep, is it's about this guy who was mentioning how after 8 p.m. on weekends, it's so hard to move money around in the West. That's just a joke, right? Like,
That's yeah, for people like us who've been too much exposed to crypto, it just feels nonsense.
totally, totally. It's like it's such a nonsensical thing that you have internet, but you want to go back to post office, stand in the queue, come to the counter, realize that you put 10 paisa less of a stamp, then you get your mail just get thrown on your face, and then you go back in the queue. Before that, of course, you have to buy that again, another 10 paisa worth of stamp, stick it on that post, and then come back in the queue, join, and then get to the counter. Now you have the position to
Already
now send
exhausted.
your mail, and then it will take another week, 1 day, 2 days, depending on where you're sending nationally, internationally. That's the number of amount of time that you're going to spend on your one mail. And then you have this alternative of cryptocurrency, and then it does everything instantly, like how emails do. But still, the West does not accept it, is because the control is so strong that the fear of losing control is bigger than the facility that it gives to the people around their country. The worst is they don't want the commerce that is getting built by the people of their country, because they can print their money straight away from their printing press. They don't even value the commerce created or the economics created by the people of their country. That's really sad. So it's
Yeah,
just one of those
totally.
things.
Sometimes it's weird. So recently I had to do a transaction and through somebody else. So what I was told is that it takes about a day or something if the time is gone to add a new pay on the even on the app for some banks. So it does not happen with ICICI, but I don't know which bank it was. So even to just to add a person so that you can pay them for a service that does not require a human to human interaction, you still have to wait a pretty long time. That is so powerful for when it comes to crypto. You just need the address, and
Totally,
and
totally.
when it comes to Bitcoin Cash, it's like less than a second or so.
Totally. Those are the things that you understand and you build accordingly on your updates, right? So you want to
So
make this specific thing much faster than the other, and then eventually you get all of it worked, and then slowly you build a little bit better and better every day. So what's happening latest with Ethereum? So Prajwal is right here on the call. So there was a difficulty in moving Ethereum around just because the wallet was not refreshed at that time. It actually picked up a lower fee, and the lower fee got accepted. But then the transaction didn't complete for like 4 days. It was hanging on without even getting a transaction path. It didn't
wow.
even.
So sometimes if this happens, the transaction is not accepted by any of the miners just because they don't find it worthy enough. So if you send a really good amount of fees, basically gas, so what they do is they filter out that this one is more profitable because at the end they have to mine a block and they have to validate it anyways. So I might as well take the one which has greater fees.
No, true
So
that.
yeah.
So I'm just guessing because in Bitcoin, even when you pay less fee, over the period of time, eventually it gets verified. So with Ethereum, sometimes it doesn't get verified, and eventually, like the transaction doesn't even go through. So you're saying if the miners are not getting all their blocks full, wouldn't they want to just include any amounts now, any transactions with less fee? But because whatever it is, you still make a little bit at least.
Yeah, I think this goes back to their understanding of how they want to filter, because they don't want to allow low fees, right? If it was up to me or somebody else, I wouldn't want to accept. I wouldn't. It won't be good for me if I allow people to, send low fees and actually accept it. So
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
just try to create a behavioral pattern or some sort of analogy. I'm following that analogy, because if you just accept anything anyway, so that basically hurts in a long term. Don't you think so?
Okay, I get it. So you're saying so that there is a standard maintained. You don't even want to accept which is below that is that's there. So
Yeah,
that.
it's totally up to them. It's code, right? So it's
Mhm.
totally up to them. They have they That's how they create fake chains, right? Just to do a coordinated attack. So of course they can easily change the code and do things accordingly. Most miners, I'm sure they do that, just so that the average fees that they are getting is comparatively higher, independent of the volatility of the original token.
Sure, sure. I was just
Yeah.
hoping that they see it at least because I was even thinking for a second
Mhm.
that will the miners even get to see this really small fee paid transactions? If they are able to get to see all the transactions, would any one miner at least consider now that yeah, let me just include all of this, or collectively the miners have decided not to include anything which is smaller than fee?
It goes into the memory pool,
Yeah,
because the current transactions that are happening and the transactions that are yet to happen. So the yet to happen ones generally get stuck in the memory pool. In 2017 bull run, it was taking a long time for people, even in Bitcoin, also Ethereum, there to get their transactions validated, because because the queue was pretty long. So maybe this happened because the fees was pretty low, and the bar that they set of minimal fees was like not being met. So it took
sure.
a pretty long time.
No,
This
you're right.
sounds looks
It
like a
is going a
reasonable
little
explanation
high.
for that. Hmm.
The fees is going a little high. So
Yeah, true.
with the price of Ethereum being whatever it is today, if this fees is
Hmm.
high the way it is, do you think with a bull run when the price shoots up really high, what do you think the fees may be then?
For Ethereum, it might go to a couple of dollars, because there is not yet any scaling solution that is uh, massively used. Like there are second layer solutions that are available, but not everybody uses them. And the Ethereum 2.0 is on the testnet, but it's only a matter of time when it comes. And if proof of system is there, so the transaction per second will increase, and ultimately the fees will reduce. But if the bull run happens before that, then I expect at least more than $1 will definitely will be there.
Sure, sure.
Maybe $4. I don't know. It can
Well,
easily
I
go there.
think, yeah, you're right. Ethereum has just not seen a right bull run for itself because the previous bull run, which happened for Bitcoin, Bitcoin fees shot up, of course. But
Yeah.
for Bitcoin, it was like an end bull run because it has seen like a many before 2013, and then it saw a
Mhm.
great one in 2013. Then it was again in 2016, sorry, 17. So at that time, of course, the fees went way higher, and so a lot of people couldn't afford that fee. What I'm saying couldn't afford the fee is not because it was because there was small transactions, and for small transaction, if you're paying a fee which is higher than your amount that you're sending, that is unsustainable. So that way, it did sustain for medium and
Yeah,
low
totally agree.
values transfer community. So, like the MLMs, right? That's like the one of the groups in India which are like so not stopping. They just never stop. So they were using Bitcoin way a lot more than others. And then when the price correction was like not the correction, the bull run was happening. They couldn't manage it, and then they moved to Ethereum. You know that for now, it's like whenever you
No.
talk to this group of people, they love their Ethereum now. And I hope, well, I hope they move to other cryptocurrencies eventually, because that's not the end all, right? If the fees goes up and then they move to another, which we already seen from Bitcoin to Ethereum, and they've moved. If there is an issue with Ethereum or the coming bull run, maybe then they will want to switch again.
What I feel is that the supply is pretty low. Like, I mean, 21 billion is very low. Like, even if we are going to use it in real world, this is ultimately bound to be a really, really expensive thing. And whatever fraction you talk about, let's say there will be a fees of 3-4 rupees, even if we look at in terms of Satoshi, which is like literally divisible at 10⁻²8, considering the price of Bitcoin be $100,000 or something like that. What I mean is that there has to be a bigger supply. So the analogy that these people are following with Bitcoin being comparable to gold, right? I think it's some way it will happen the same with Bitcoin Cash as well, because the supply is same, right? It's not that big.
Totally.
So,
I think you made a very good point there. So the thing is that the supply, will it really affect the value transfer system and the real commerce of the world? It's still a doubt with me. I don't think the number of coins make any difference, only because it has a great decimals, right? So if you don't have one Bitcoin Cash, you have up to 8 decimals. You can own just 1,000 Satoshis. 1,000 Satoshis is what? 0.401 Satoshi.
Yeah, totally agreed.
Crypto. So with that, in terms of numbers, I think there is enough, because if you consider a token which has 1 trillion in numbers plus 2 decimals, still is smaller than Bitcoin's and Bitcoin Cash's total supply number of Satoshis. So
yeah,
there are 21 million into 8, which is 100 million. 21 million into 100 million is what the number of Satoshis in Bitcoin Cash is there for each. So in terms of numbers, it's great. Of course, I can understand what Satoshi did in the beginning when he did the white paper. The idea was to bring in a crypto which gains in value, because you have demand and supply that should set in. And if you have too much in supply, then the demand is not created well, and the price doesn't go up. So by price going up, it's creating a great buzz around the world. That's how it's getting into each person's understanding. Because that's what gave us that 2017, right? 2017 price hike is what gave the interest of Bitcoin to everybody and knowledge of Bitcoin, because till then nobody had heard it. So this numbers which is capped is probably giving that better than if the numbers were.
So the way where I was coming from is the fees perspective.
Okay.
So even so there, see, we convert into $50, right? Let's the fees was $50 or something like that in the last bull run, right? Now the price is, let's say it goes tenfold. So the fees will also go that, independent of how much divisible it is.
Yes.
Right. So you won't be able to buy an asset, even if it's divisible. It could be divided into 10⁻⁸, because the value of that asset is pretty high, and the divisibles and the amount of fees that the minimal amount of the basically the fraction of that currency that the miners want, will might have a significant value as compared to these uh, INR or USDT.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
that's why the value of the commodity should be basically the currency should be less, so that the divisible factors are also less, and that's how you can spend it in places like, let's say you want to buy a coffee or something like that, and you actually spend a less amount of money just because the value of the original currency is pretty low. That's why I wanted, okay, supply should be higher.
No, you're very right. You're very right. Those are the things which has hampered a lot of businesses which set up on Bitcoin, like
Yeah,
BitPay and Purse.io. They couldn't sustain is because these things changed and the
yeah,
economics not matching with their business model. I hope Bitcoin Cash will see a great bull run next year that's coming up, which I 100% believe. Please do not take this as any financial advice from me. It's just my history and my knowledge of the past that I've seen. I clearly predict a bull run that is happening in 2021. There is a lot of reasons why I'm saying this to back that up in a way that the halving happens 1 year prior to that. The price correction has happened in the last 4 years. When so much of time has taken, eventually when the price touches the previous high, which is 20,000 USD and 13 lakhs in Indian, when it touches that, from there it does not ever look back. It only goes forward. So when that touches the previous high, from 2017 December till 2021 January, whoever has seen cryptocurrency, they have seen that the crypto had always been a high of 20,000 USD. Anything more than that, he thinks automatically it is worth buying. And this 4 years, a tremendous number of people would have seen that. And then all those who think it will never go beyond 20,000, and suddenly when they see that, they start putting in money, and that's when the bull run just gets triggered and never gets stopped till it reaches some ridiculous number in value for Bitcoin, maybe some 100,000 plus dollars, maybe some 70 to 80 to 1 crore rupees in Indian rupees per Bitcoin. These things are inevitable. In the past, as shown, it does it. And that's what a bull run, and that's how economics, in terms of how any kind of commodities price goes up, it catches on with people. So that way, when I want to wait and see what happens for Bitcoin Cash in the 2021 bull run, I would want to see if this developments that has been happening over the period of time, is it really worth, will it really cut that issue that Bitcoin had and Ethereum is trying to see, and will it ever be overlooked by Bitcoin Cash and move smoothly in this bull run? Will be a great thing to watch. What do you say?
true, totally.
So yeah, so it teaches a lot of things. I think bull run has taught a lot of things in the past. So hopefully this will teach a lot of things or make us understand so many things about cryptocurrency and its development bits that's going on.
Yeah,
Totally. So there are two other
yeah,
new people we
totally.
can get to introduce. Kapil Modi and Harsha. I'm sorry. Yeah, Harsha Vardhana, is it? Let me just. Harshavardhan and Kapil, guys, hello. You are the new ones who joined. We haven't addressed you. You guys want to say something? Please unmute your mic and then you can jump in, have a conversation, talk to us about Bitcoin, what's your understanding, what you'd like to know. If at all you have
Hi,
it, go on. Sorry, Harsha.
hi Vikram, this is Harsha. Actually, I'm very new to cryptocurrency and I was just going through different forums and I wanted to have more idea of this cryptocurrency. So that's the reason I joined. And also, I wanted to know about the mining, how feasible it is to mine crypto in Bangalore. I'm from Bangalore. I wanted to
Oh,
know if
wow.
there is, yeah. So is
No,
it
nice,
feasible?
nice.
So I wanted to get all this data. So when I was looking for some groups, I got this group, so I may subscribe. So yeah, that's what I was listening very very interestingly how it. I mean, I'm very new to crypto, so I don't have much knowledge on crypto.
Cool, cool. But otherwise, what's your nature of work? What do you do?
I'm an IT professional.
IT. Okay. So anything in
Yeah,
specific that you work on that you want to share?
yeah. I am into this IT service management. So I am now into automation and monitoring operations. So, I mean, I was also very much interested in trading. I mean, I have some experience in trading. Well, in the last few months, I've been listening a lot about this crypto. So, even that is also very similar to the stock trading. So I was interested in this crypto.
Well, great stuff. So I think you are in IT, and most of the IT guys have heard about cryptocurrency. Trading bit that you have interest in is an extra, of course. But yeah, you want to know a little bit of mining. I can quickly tell you, I have tried mining in 2013. We installed mining worth of 20 lakh rupees in total. We
Mm-hmm.
even got a person to fly to New York and pick up the hardware and bring it down for us because we didn't have enough time to wait around for it to be shipped and clearance of customs to happen. So we just like personally went and picked it up and we brought it. We mined it here. We did not mine more than 6 months. In
Mm-hmm.
6 months, we updated our hardware 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
With all that happening, we had to discontinue mining is because it was not profitable. So it's a pure
Yeah.
experience, and this is 2013. And you think
Yeah.
about now, which is 7 years after that, the mining has shot up in such exponential way in terms of the hardware power and the competition that's going on around the world for different aspects. Also, I'll tell you about it.
Yeah.
I will just explain my 6 months of experience. The first day of mining, complete hardware we set up, it was 230 gigahashes. And
Mm-hmm.
230 gigahashes earned us 3.4 bitcoins per day.
Mm-hmm.
3.4 bitcoins per day at the time when the network of Bitcoin in 2013 was giving out exactly 3,400 bitcoins. We were just lucky to get that number, and then it was easy to compare also.
Mm-hmm.
But you understand what I mean? The world was getting 3,400 bitcoins per day. Out of
Mm-hmm.
3,400, we got 3.4 bitcoins. That means we were exactly 1/1000th of the network power. So how do
Yeah.
we know what exactly is the network power? We had 230 gigahashes multiplied by
Mm-hmm.
1,000 is exactly the hardware power that was running the mining operations in 2013, made of
Okay.
2013. But
Mm-hmm.
of course, by end of our tenure, which is 6 months of mining, and then we remove the mining hardware completely, we had
Mm-hmm.
close to 500 gigahashes because we had increased our hardware. With
Okay.
our 500 gigahashes, we were probably getting only 0.001 Bitcoin per day.
Oh,
So do you understand the amount of exponential growth in hardware that had happened in that just 6 months?
yes.
We were first day we were 1/1000th of the network power, and we dropped to drastically being basically probably being one fraction of a thousandth of network power. So our hardware that we increased from 230 gigahashes to close to 500, even though we added two more times, one more time and another hardware, we were not going in pace with the guys abroad. We were way behind, lagging in terms of adding our hardware, and the cost for us was very high because our electricity costs and things like that was exponential.
Yeah.
So we were not going to continue mining because we were not going to cut the costs. The hardware and the electric costs and the AC and everything that was running to make sure this operation was going smooth was costing us X amount of money, and we were not making the same, or we were making below that. So that's what
Okay.
made us quickly remove the idea of mining. But then we tried. That was a great experience. Why do you not able to do it even today? Is because even though you trying to go like a major positions, take a big position in terms of getting a mining farm like system, which is like uh, millions of hardware, like not maybe not millions, like 10,000 hardware set up together, and you mine. Your amount of electricity that you will use is close to around maybe 10 lakhs to 15 lakhs a month. That kind of
Yeah.
electricity you cannot buy in India because that will be very, very expensive. And also, you
Correct.
cannot answer those questions why you would need that kind of electricity.
Yeah.
Secondly, some people around the world are mining for free electricity. With the free electricity that they're getting, they're able to mine. So you are trying to compete with them. That is never ever possible. You're
Okay.
paying 15 lakh rupees to 20 lakh rupees a month in electricity,
Mm-hmm.
except for hardware. Hardware and everything is extra cost. Uh,
Yeah.
and some people are not paying even 1 cent for their electricity and running the miner. They can profit better than you any day, right? So
Yeah.
why that is happening, how you're getting free electricity is because a lot of generators that's there around the world, which is set up in dams and other things, They don't have electricity storage facility, so they do not operate that all times. So now that they understand about mining, so they are setting up miners near those dams and near those generators, and those generators are now switched on before it was off because there was really no use of that electricity they were producing. They could not store it, they could not use it. Now this
Okay.
electricity has been used by the Bitcoin hardware, and they're able to get this electricity for free. And some people are generating in Scandinavian countries. They are so close to their the owners of the electricity generators are their like uncle, and then that's how they are able to set up the miners, and they're able to get free or cheap electricity. Those guys are can mine now, but not us. And at a country level, maybe say India as a government wants to set up mining, maybe they can do that because Venezuela and Iran at a country level, at a government level, they are mining. So for them, when they are mining, they may be able to direct cheap electricity into the miners, so they're able to make profit out of it. But hey, this is not for everybody, for everyone. It's only for big players now.
Correct.
We were also very small back in 2013. So you can think about it now, how much of power increase has happened in miners.
Yeah, I know that mining Bitcoin is too expensive and we cannot afford that because now all this mining is through ASIC miners now. So I was actually thinking about GPU mining, like we have Ethereum mining and many others. So I came across one person who actually provides the hardware from Gurgaon. So he told with the 6 rigs, it generates about 250 mega hash per second, and zero point 0.5 Ethereum can be mined per month. Along with Ethereum, few other crypto like Monero, Zcash, it can also be mined.
Yes,
So
yes. After ASIC, I think with GPUs, you can mine every cryptocurrency in the world that is there. You can mine with GPU, including Bitcoin. But just that it will not be profitable because GPUs are not as efficient as ASIC. But GPUs is what is used for many cryptocurrencies because they are ASIC resistant, so they can only be used in GPU hardware. But then you're again competing yourself with somebody who is getting free electricity. And when I'm saying about these kind of systems, that some places in the world people are mining for free electricity, with free electricity, they are even mining through GPUs also, so not just ASIC. So you're competing with them with the electricity that you're going to be spending crazily here. I remember when I had one GPU and I used to run it from my bedroom. Again, this around the same time, 13, and my bedroom used to heat up. I could not run that graphic card on my desktop in summertime because I couldn't sit there. So you think about just one graphic card, emitting so much heat, and how do you expect like a big farm of graphic cards to make sure that they stay cool? You have to have AC and all that. And there's a cost of managing these things are very very high.
okay.
So you have to think over it before putting in money. This is like pure experience of literally spending our money. It's just that I was lucky to get around hardware when it was still not as well known as it is today. In 2013, at least, there was less interest in mining and crypto with people. But now there is a lot more new and rich people have joined. Mind you, any bull run brings in a lot of rich people back into the cryptocurrency space. And when I mined and when I've tried all this in GPU and ASIC, it was before the bull run ended. And after the bull run ended, there are a lot of players have come in. And think about that as 2 times as already bull run has happened since then. 2013 end and then the 17 end. And it has brought in many rich people's interest and idea to it. So they're able to mine much efficiently than what we can ever do. It's just a thought. It's just my experience.
Yeah.
It's
But
been
obviously, it really matters. 7 to 8 years of experience really matters. So that's exactly why I was looking for such information before I could actually go and do the GPU mining. And I really appreciate your feedback.
Oh,
Vikram. Yeah, and this.
great, man. Definitely. It's always there because I have that experience. I'm happy to share specifically for those who are looking for the specific interest and specific, experience. The way I came to know about GPUs are going crazy in India was because we had an investor who was trying to approach us. This is from South India itself. And that person, he was a big shot guy, but the way he came to know about cryptocurrency was because his friend was running a hardware shop, a big hardware, like GPUs and anything to do with computer hardware he used to run. And the friend, just over a conversation, was telling this guy, saying that, there is lately a lot of interest for GPU cards, and my graphic cards are selling like crazy. And one of them even told me about why he's buying a graphic card is to mine cryptocurrency. So that's how they came to know. When they came to know, they were like, oh my God, people are buying my hardware and doing all this. Why don't I do it myself? When you always, you're in the business of selling hardware, you don't know why people are buying it. And then suddenly you come to know you want to do that yourself, right? So like that, it was just one example that I have heard before. This was way, even in January, this was. So he heard it then, but of course, when we met, it was already 8-9 months after they had heard about it, about cryptocurrency through their sales of their graphic cards. So in India itself, there was so much interest and so much graphic cards were being sold. I remember when I got my own graphic card also, it was purely to try and test because I was not a gaming person. I still went ahead and installed a graphic card in my desktop just so that I can try it. But of course, I saw it eventually. I couldn't run it, like I said, in summers. I couldn't sit in the room to do work. The graphic card would make noises, of course, an extra. It irritates you. But once you get used to the noise, it's okay. You continue to work. But then the heat also then I wouldn't sustain. So I used to eventually switch off. So when I switched off, then I realized, okay, it's not for us to play around with this. It needs a nice setup in itself. For me to have that for gaming, it would have been okay. But if I'm running 24/7 mining, because mining has to be then 24/7, it can't be like switched on and off. You don't really make any profit out of it. Your hardware also goes old very soon. So that experience, I hope, will help more people in future like you.
Okay. Good. Yeah, and what's your opinion on Pi? There is a lot of hype around that. That they'll ask everyone to mine on a mobile. It can be mined on a mobile, and as of now, it has no value. They say that once this goes into LiveNet, so whatever the coins that you're earning, so that will have a value. So how true is it? Because I have seen the white paper also, but still it is hard to believe. No, it's so easy to mine that one. Even if your data is off on your mobile, that keeps mining. So I wanted to know your view on Pi.
So it's a new technology that they're trying to implement. Basically, you are able to improvise on the older technology of proof of work that's going on. That's how proof of work is what made us start mining in the past. Before proof of work mining, nothing like that was ever existing. So in 2009 January, we started mining. Our mining operations was new. So in 12 years down the line, people have improvised on it and then made sure that we can sit and mine on your phones and everything. But in comparison to the price of what you will mine on your phone to what you will mine on an ASIC, which is Bitcoin, will be way, way different. So you will make a small valued currency, which is less mined around the world. So that's how you're able to make a cut on it. Means that your phone's capacity is much, much lower than an ASIC, even graphic card for that matter, right? So whatever that you can mine from your phone, it just makes it simple and easy. And those hardware or the software that they've written makes it usable on the phones. But the coins that you mine will have equally less in value than what it is.
But it will have some intrinsic value when it goes into LiveNet, right?
It will eventually. All of them have higher intrinsic value in cryptocurrency than even what we think, because people thought no intrinsic value before. But now the usability factor itself is great. That means now you too, one person who's mining on your phone and you are doing it. Between you two, if you have a connection, and if you had to just make a small change, like they say that, okay, you give me some information about how I can better my phone. He gives you that. How do you pay him? You can pay him with whatever that you guys are common with, that you both are together mining an X coin. That coin in real world has very, very, very small compared to Bitcoin. But between two guys, it's same valued as how Bitcoin is valued. Because between you two, if you want to use value transfer, You don't have to use Bitcoin then. You can use just that particular coin that you are mining, send and receive between each other. The reason you have to send and receive is because it's like communication. Value also, when it moves and reaches one person, and when he has your payment and he has the full liquidity of that payment, is when the transaction is complete. And that transaction now can be done with any coin. No, it doesn't have to be Bitcoin. It doesn't have to be Ethereum or Bitcoin Cash. Any one cryptocurrency or a token or anything that holds a small value, but you're sending in 1,000 of those coins between you and him, because you're the only two that know each other who's mining that. That holds that intrinsic value that it is usable between you two. So like that, every coin has its own value. Like in the world, like in the future, I'm predicting that everybody will have their own coin. One more expensive than the other. So at the end of the day, the idea of sending value and receiving value can be done in any coin. So these all will have its own use.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. So one of those things. Sorry, Harsha. 1 second. Thank you, Kuldeep. You can definitely leave. I understand your thing. We'll connect soon.
Sure. Bye bye.
Okay. Bye, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, Harsha, go on. So let's continue this conversation.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to know about that. So after what you said, I think I'm not wasting anything by mining Pi. So it's good that I continue mining Pi because I am not putting much effort on it. Once in a day, I have to just click on it, and not much. My battery is also not draining much. So I think it's a good way to mine. So also after hearing your experience, probably I won't go for GPU mining. So I read many articles. I also went through many videos. Yeah, and the mining algorithm, it gets complicated as more and more miners come into the picture. And as you said, you have to continuously keep investing on the hardware. So I don't think it will be much feasible. And also electricity bill is very high in Bangalore.
It is in India. Yeah, compared to many nations, I think in Indian electric costs are much higher.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's an experience. Since I have done it and I spent and burned my hands, and I don't want others to do it. It's not easy. It's not an easy thing to find like this kind of experienced person telling you in person or in a conversation with him. You can only read about a lot of things, but still, with kind of information being like spread around the way it is on the internet, it's not easy to find the right information now.
Exactly.
So I'm glad because you've done some research, you understood whatever I was saying. A lot of people come, of course, with interest in mining, but because they're in such a new state of understanding, they may not understand what I say, but they want to still try it and understand it. It's fine with me, because when you do it yourself, you learn much better than if you never go back to it, of course, if you don't.
Exactly, but in all the videos that I watched, they emphasize more on the power consumption. So even the profitability is calculated based on they actually calculate so many kilowatts per hour and so many cents per hour. So finally, if someone makes around $10 per day, that's a very big thing on a 4 to 5 gig rigs. So
that's right. Yeah. Who makes just $10 and stays happy? Those who are like on an institutional miners. For them, the idea is that it's at least bringing in some return on ROI, which is return on investment. For them, they can understand that let it stay on, and then we can improvise it and things like that. But if you're really looking at a business proposition, I don't think it's a very viable thing unless you have lots and lots of money to burn.
Yeah, it's better to go ahead and buy a cryptocurrency rather than mining.
You know what? Well, you said that which I had missed out on talking about it, because that's exactly what we all learned when we did our mining ourselves. Wish we had kept our money in crypto itself, and it would have appreciated much higher than we putting it in the hardware, working so much, analyzing, understanding so much, and it actually didn't even give the same thing we had put it in. We just got back in terms of profit in INR, but in number of cryptos, we even dropped from what we had started.
Okay.
I don't know if you understood that.
Yeah.
So in INR value, yes, we got a little bit more rupees just a little bit more. Of course, we did the work that we did. We got a little bit of profit. But if we had to, the day when we started, if we had to invest in cryptocurrency instead of investing in hardware, that cryptocurrency would have given us at least about 50x more profit than what we get. So that way, we ended up having less in crypto, even though it was a little bit more in INR. So that's one of those things that always happens in a bull run. When the price of crypto just keeps shooting up for that period of 10 months, you kind of lose. Most of these players in the crypto space that I have seen, have lost a little bit of their crypto if they are continuously trading. Holdings, maybe like 10 may drop to 9.8 or 9.5. They may eventually have more in the equivalent wealth of the 9.5 cryptos. But the number of crypto itself has reduced a little bit. This happens with cryptocurrency only. This is not something which is there from the past to experience. It's very new, so you have to experience it yourself and learn from it.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that was really very valuable information, Vikram. Thanks for sharing your experience, and it was very valuable.
Oh, you're welcome, man. Anytime. So, whereabouts in Bangalore are you from? I'm from Bangalore too.
Oh, is it? I'm from Banshankari, 5th State.
Nice. I'm in Malleshwaram, so not far.
Oh, Malleshwaram, yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorite area in Bangalore.
Is it? Okay. Flattered. Well, so we were talking about a little bit of global news on cryptocurrency just before you guys joined in. So I can share that again here with you. So we latest in the previous month, a country which is Nigeria in West Africa has more downloads than any other country in the world for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency wallets. So I was just talking about that to Kuldeep, which Kuldeep just left. So with others that we are here, I think we've not had this conversation. So clearly we can see that the Western world is not the leading ones in terms of the usage of cryptocurrency. Because in the West, I lived in England for 7 years and I worked there. So when I was there, I can clearly tell that 97% of the people there in the UK are already on the banking ladder. That means they already are dependent on the banks for their trust system, for everything, everyday needs of their financial aspects. But in a country like Africa, how many people do you think would have been on the banking ladder? Maybe 50% or less. So the remaining majority of the people understand that the cryptocurrency is what is bringing them the real freedom of moving money around or value around and that kind of a thing. So I think it's the tipping point has come now. The number of transactions, number of downloads is more in Nigeria. Obviously, clearly means that there's going to be more usable factor there, and people are going to use it more for their commerce. And you don't need the banking structures, right? What you need is a trust system. If the trust system is given to you by a centralized entity like with brick and mortar like a bank, you suddenly understand that crypto gives you the same trust system without any person in between. It's a decentralized trust system without a person being there centrally helping you hold one person's money, escrowing somebody's money, or giving you interest on that person's money that you're holding. So all that is out of the window. It's a new form of economics will be riding on cryptocurrency. Yeah. So this interest of Nigerian crypto users came up because of this thing called Big Brother that we all know. Big Brother show. I'm sorry, go on.
Yeah, exactly. I saw this one video wherein in that Big Brother show they're talking about this Bitcoin. They had some quiz about this Bitcoins. I saw that video.
Oh my God, you did? Amazing. So yes, that video I think is now viral across their country. So everybody is now understood that, oh, there is something called cryptocurrency is going to be really good. No wonder why they're having a quiz on it. And then that caught on, and then eventually now they have more downloads than any other country in the world. It's amazing. I love it. And you're naming these countries as underdeveloped and developing nations and third world nations. What were they for, third world nations? Is because their banking structure was controlled by New York, and then you control their banking facility, not allow their people to move value around easily, and then you call them third world nation. Of course, they made that was orchestrated right from New York. So now the whole system is changing. Eventually, the more free you are in moving value around, the more prosperous your country gets. So that's going to catch up, and then we'll have to see how many Western countries will stay developed or go underdeveloped.
Yeah, everything is good in these cryptocurrencies except some of the network fees. Somewhat they are high, especially if you see Ethereum in the last couple of weeks, it is too high.
No, Harsha, you said it very right. I think that's the only drawback that's happening. One of these reasons why I promote Bitcoin Cash and I always talk about Bitcoin Cash is because the development of Bitcoin Cash is concentrated on making sure the fees stay low, the network fees stay low. That means if more people are interested in Bitcoin Cash and come into the network and start using it, suddenly the blocks should not get overfilled. So for that reason, they improvised it on making it 32 MB block and and open to even bigger. Moore's law gives us, you know about Moore's law, right? Moore's law gives us easier and cheaper hardware every day in future. That means in future the hardware becomes cheaper and is affordable. So with that, we can even run 100 GB or 100 MB worth of blocks. So Bitcoin Cash is working on that part, and then we want to make sure that we support that Bitcoin Cash so that in the bull run itself is what we will see which currencies really survive and which don't. In 17 bull run, Bitcoin had a great hit because of the mining fee. Now that we are seeing this in Ethereum, like you said, this is even before the bull run. And when the real bull run happens, I don't think Ethereum and Bitcoin is going to sustain very easily because of their mining fee. Hopefully by then, Bitcoin Cash will show that it is superior. Its technology development that people have done is much more resilient and much more useful for the people. Those are the things what you're looking at. And some more cryptos are already working on these things, not just Bitcoin Cash, but we will wait and see. The examination day, like we say, is the bull run. So we'll have to wait and see at that time.
Exactly.
So yeah, that was about our meetup. We changed our meetup name to AMA. Ask Me Anything for a reason, because people come with a lot of different walks of life, and then for them to get interest in cryptocurrency, they have very specific and according to their experience in life. So they want to come in with their questions. If you guys have like that, just shoot, and then I'm happy to answer.
Sure. It was really very informative, Vikram. It's a really good invest of my time.
Thanks, mate. So with this, have you heard of a company called UnoCoin?
Yeah, I've heard. I mean, I don't have much details, but I have heard about that UnoCoin. I mean, while I was researching more, I came across all this.
Yeah, okay. So UnoCoin was started by me in 2013. It's an exchange. It's the first ever exchange for India. That was started then, and of course, because we can clearly see there are a lot of people who used to come for our meetups and say we have no place for us to buy Bitcoin in India. So the idea was like just to build an exchange instantly for Indians for bridging the INR, right? Fiat INR to crypto is what was important. So now I have something called Instacrypto. Well, you can see the board at the back. Instacrypto is an instant crypto exchange. If I want to talk a little bit about Instacrypto, it is a non-custodial exchange. So that means we do not hold your cryptocurrencies. We do an instant exchange for your INR to crypto and crypto to INR, vice versa. The idea is to give you the crypto as instantly as possible. And also in Instacrypto, there is a way to receive your cryptocurrency. You can receive it directly to your wallet, or if you were going to make some value transfer to someone and then put in their address, and then you feed in exactly the same amount of rupees that you're supposed to send, and then you put in that address and the crypto gets sent directly to that person who you were planning to send. So there is no two steps in it, and then you can do it in one step straight away, send the value. You have INR and you want to send crypto, use Instacrypto, that's how it is done. And in Instacrypto, we are making sure that you pay via UPI only. It is very secure, and with any other formats of payments like credit cards, debit cards, we do not support. If somebody is saying that they're going to take credit and debit cards via Instacrypto, they're not our exchange. It must be somebody else. Even with wallets, if they say, oh, we provide wallets for your cryptocurrency, be careful. We do not provide wallets. You can come up with your own wallets. So Harsha, tell me about your experience. I'm sure you are holding a wallet. What wallet do you use?
Okay, so I have a trust wallet. Um, that's a decentralized wallet.
Yeah.
And I haven't invested much, but I mean, there are a lot of news that's coming in that Indian government is going to ban crypto. I mean, we had all these dramas in 2017 when during the Bitcoin bull run, where RBI had actually banned, had asked banks to liquidate whatever the holdings they had. And again, recently there are many articles that is floating here and there, like in Money Control and some other websites, saying that Indian government is actually coming up with a law to ban the cryptocurrency permanently.
So a lot of these people are acting really stupid, right? Because nobody is bigger than Supreme Court in India. But they act sometimes very stupid, like including RBI for that matter. When RBI made banks stop the exchanges to support, RBI got into RBI like suddenly they got their panties into twist. That's what the English term they say. For nothing, you got hassled. You're not in charge of the whole economics of the world of India, but you want to just like get into this particular thing only because it's my inside understanding, because I have met many RBI guys over my 2014 January 1st till now in meetings, bankers, IT guys, income tax guys. So what their issue in as a whole is alternative currency. It's nothing to do with the real economics. They don't understand those. So they're trying to stop. So RBI said banks should not support exchanges of cryptocurrency. Of course, some banks stopped immediately. One of the banks went way beyond that was Kotak Mahindra Bank. They had their panties in twist for more than even RBI for some reason. So they went on sending out letters and everything. But they are not the only bank in India. There are many other banks. We were banking with IndusInd. We never had any issues. We were in limit. We were making sure the cryptocurrency was available for people to understand and use as a knowledge, not bring in like crores of rupees and change their rupees to crypto. We were not doing that. We were just allowing up to 50,000 rupees of crypto to be bought and sold, so that you get experience, you get knowledge, and you learn about cryptocurrency. That's the future, right? If you don't allow people to use internet, how would you learn about it? So that way we continue to survive. So we went on. And what happened in January and February this year, Supreme Court clearly ruled in favor of cryptocurrency in India. They said cryptocurrency is legal in India. It can be traded. It can be used as an asset. There is no Maika Lal jo bolte Hindi mein, can stop that, which including RBI for that matter. But again, people are coming up because they have no knowledge. When you have less knowledge, you jump into conclusions quicker. One of the reasons also you are jumping into conclusions quicker is because you don't hold crypto. That's the one big reason that I have seen with many people. Because you don't have 10 rupees worth of crypto in your pocket, you don't understand it, so you don't like it automatically.
Correct.
So these are the people who put in these information in the media. They're not any important people. They're just those floating crowd which have no say in any law or anything. Because Supreme Court judge is a smart person. He's read. He understood, and he said clearly cryptocurrency should be legal in India. So who are these people who are trying to speak over the judge? Is because they have no knowledge. And if they really want to bring in something from the judge, they will go and file a petition, file something in the court, say why it is that you should file this and what you want to do about it. Bring in a verdict, talk about it then. Why you're jumping about before that is because you don't have 10 rupees worth of Bitcoin in your pocket. So you don't know. You always do have like it. If you don't have it, you don't like it. It'll happen. It's not new. It's happened in the past in many other countries. It's happening a little bit in India also. You understand what I mean? It's like a level of fake news that's going on. So after that, what happens is half spectacle people who are, should I invest in crypto or not? Then they quickly pick on these fake news, and they also get their panties in twist eventually. So they're like, oh, cryptocurrency is going to be illegal. Let me not fund it. So you understand, the fear makes you lose out. So eventually, if you have so much fear in life, then you will not succeed, which is another great example right here.
Correct.
So, of course, when Mr. Arun Jaitley was alive as the finance minister in India, he did say about it before all this verdicts and anything. Even RBI is stepping in and all that. So what did he say? He said cryptocurrency is not a legal tender, but it is a legal trading tool and a legal asset. If you're holding it as an asset, all you have to make sure is when you liquidate your asset, you pay your capital gains tax. And if you are using it for trading, and you pay your income tax. The reason he said it is not a legal tender is because he just compared it to gold. In India, gold is also not a legal tender. Just mind you, a lot of people don't know about it. So he just put the cryptocurrency in the same category as gold, where gold is also not legal tender in India, crypto is also not. But gold is a great trading tool and a great asset for Indians. It is the same for cryptocurrency.
Yeah, exactly.
So I hope these kind of information that I've given, I'm today live on even Facebook and even YouTube. So you got the right questions, Harsh. So because of that, I'm thinking a lot more people eventually when they view videos will get some good information.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. So in between, I'd like to bring on our exchange, things that we have implemented. The latest reward system that we have implemented in Instacrypto is INC token. So an INC token is being issued out to people who come in and use our exchange, bring in referrals, bring in more users to our exchange, and also join us in our Telegram groups, which is like Telegram Faucet, which is for INC Faucet, and Telegram group for Instacrypto INC community. So here, there's groups for you to come and ask any question if you have any issues with your exchange and with your transaction. Otherwise, these INC tokens are going to be used for marketing of their exchange and bringing in more, users for the exchange, bounties for the exchange, codes, and a lot more things in the future, airdrops maybe, and giveaways and things like that. So that's also something that I wanted to break the news here on the meetup. I'm usually doing some small videos to introduce the Instacrypto exchange's new features. This meetup is just a regular meetup that I always do on the weekends, which is Saturday at this time. I wanted to bring out this topic also so that it's recorded and people understand that there is a lot more things Instacrypto is doing. We were only on desktop before, now we are only on the app version. So we moved away from desktop completely and we're doing it completely on the app for a reason, because with app we can automate it as much as possible and make it as quickly on as instant. As our name says, Instacrypto is an instant crypto exchange. So to make sure that we have these kind of instant facilities, we are on the app only now. So there is just one more person who we've not spoken to, is Santosh Nair. Santosh, are you able to hear us? You may have to just unmute your mic to speak, Santosh. Oh, I'm sorry, Harshad, that you lost audio, but I'm sure it will get fixed. But I don't know if Santosh, can you hear us? If you can, just unmute your mic. If you cannot, then you can leave a message also on the message board. If you want to talk to us, but your mic is not working well, so you can definitely leave a message and we'll pick it up. Okay, Harsha, I can understand that. Well, thank you very much for your questions, and it was really nice talking to you. We should catch up sometime soon. You're welcome. Bye. So yeah, Santosh, I can see your messages, but of course, are you not able to speak to us? Is that what is happening? Not to worry, we can still take the questions from here. So yeah, there's a lot of people who come to our meetups are very new, so they're not necessarily. How new are you on the crypto space? Crypto side is something we can talk about. Interested in blockchain? Definitely, that is something is a great topic to be talking about. What part of the blockchain is, because it's pretty big, you want to specify anything in specific to the what part of blockchain you want to talk about, and we can take it on from there. So I don't see any of your message, but anyway, I'll just go ahead with this then. So in terms of blockchain, it is just the internal, like the very integral part of Bitcoin. So with blockchain, without blockchain, you couldn't have made Bitcoin popular. Without Bitcoin, you couldn't have made blockchain popular. So they are in hand in glove together. So what that means is, because Bitcoin holds X amount of value on the market cap, it's a lot of money for a lot of people, right? So Bitcoin holds more in billions as market cap, and a lot of people hold some few Bitcoins are considered to be hundreds and thousands of dollars, pounds worth of Bitcoin people hold. That kind of value, if you're holding in any digital format, how are you going to secure that? The security of the Bitcoin's value, Bitcoin itself, is secured by the blockchain. Because blockchain is so strong, it's an immutable technology and ledger. You're able to hold a great value in your Bitcoin. So that's how blockchain is popular, because of blockchain, Bitcoin can hold that kind of value, and because there are no hacks into Bitcoin and people are not just lost value in it, is why Bitcoin has become famous, because it allows a cryptocurrency to be very valuable because the way blockchain works. So what does blockchain do? Blockchain is a decentralized distributed ledger system. Each block is a sheet of paper, like how you would maintain on a bank ledger. Every day's transaction is written on one page of paper registered in the bank. The next day you carry forward from there to the next page, and you update those people's same number of amount that they have balance to the next day, because they have not done any transaction. And for those few people on that ledger of the previous day, if you have done transactions, if they had 5,000, they moved 1,000 away, they're remaining with only 4,000. Their 4,000 is updated in the next day's page. So each page is a new ledger for every day in a bank. In blockchain, every block is a new block, which is updated transactions of everyone in the world maintained on one block. So in blockchain of Bitcoin, every 10 minutes is a new block. So that means in that previous block to new block is an average of 10 minutes. In that 10 minutes, whoever does transactions gets recorded in that particular 10 minutes. And the new block will have the updated results of the blockchain, who holds how many Bitcoins and X, etc. And also every new block is released with a new set of coins. These are the new set of coins just given out for free to the miners. And these miners are the ones who secure the blockchain by making sure their hardware is running. And every 10 minutes, whoever wins the block wins the jackpot of that extra Bitcoins that's getting mined and that's getting given out. They have the responsibility, or their computer has the responsibility now to update the ledger. Every 10 minutes, the ledger gets updated. That means a new set of rules, a new set of transactions has been written down. Say till the last block, I had 5 Bitcoins and I made 1 Bitcoin of transfer in this block in this 10 minutes. Our next person who had 0 has got 1 now, and I had 5 and I have 4 now. So the next block is updated with these details. In the next block, the ledger clearly says that I have 4 Bitcoins to my address, and the new person who didn't have anything till the last block has 1 Bitcoin in the newer block. This is the ledger that is updated as a block format. And now that these blocks are called distributed ledger, that means any computer who's interested in being part of Bitcoin blockchain can just download the software and install it on their hardware, the software that they've downloaded, and download the whole ledger. That means from the day of inception, which was January 6th, 2009, the first ever block of Bitcoin was mined. From that day till today's, whole ledger is close to around 250 GB plus. I may be completely wrong, but that's the last I heard of. That amount of GB you have to download in your hardware, and then you continue to mine for the newer blocks and then update the newer transactions. So the way it is distributed ledger, it helps in securing its network is because this particular blockchain data is distributed, means there is no central place where the data is kept, and there is no reason for any of this data to get hacked, because anybody who wants this data can be downloaded. They can download it from the from the protocol directly. So there is no restriction of anybody not holding the data. If anybody wants it, they can just download it and hold it. So because it's a distributed ledger, everybody holds the same copy of that particular transactions and ledger till the last block. And in this format, if I try to cheat in a centralized ledger, like in a bank that I was explaining to you, that's a centralized ledger. If somebody as a bank manager comes and strikes off my 4,000 that I have in my bank balance and makes it zero, it will continue to be like that. It will be hard for me to question, and because the bank ledger says it's updated. But who has access to it? It just could be one person or two people from the bank authorities have access to it, or even a culprit who wants to change my value. But in same thing in the blockchain database, because this is a distributed ledger, the ledger copy of me having 4 bitcoins is with everybody's computer. And in my own computer, if I change that 4 to 40, I just added a 0 and made it look like I have 40 bitcoins, not just 4 bitcoins. You understand, only my computer is altered. The remaining 99.99% of the computers that's out there with the original ledger copy, which says I have only 4 bitcoins, clearly can tell that that's my real ledger and balance. If I try to cheat, I will be thrown out very easily, because the next time on the 10 minutes after that, the block is actually distributing the ledger to everybody, because the distributed ledger technology, blockchain. It automatically finds out that this one computer says I have 40, but the others say 4. That means that my computer is the wrong computer. That means I'm the one who's the culprit who's trying to change. It eliminates me and continues with the work. That's the beauty of blockchain. If you try to cheat the system will just throw you out of the window. It's a consensus.
Hi, this is Santosh.
Hi, Santosh. So you finally got your mic fixed.
Finally, unmuted. I am working in a deep technology company, and I have a couple of customers in different areas. One in supply chain, one in logistics, and they want us to use blockchain for their the supply chain issues and logistics issues.
Yes.
So my question is, we were wondering whether to start developing right from the framework, or use some existing framework like R3 or Hyperledger or Quantum or something, and build just the application on top of it. What will be your suggestion?
I think, Santosh, you have a great question right there. I think you have understood what exactly your company needs, and you're trying to find the right solution for it. When you say we should leverage the existing, is exactly what I would suggest, because whatever you start from your own as a blockchain is not necessarily a blockchain, it's a hyperledger. And a hyperledger which is started by a company, again, is centralized by the company only, and then they hold that ledger for themselves. Now it's a little bit more distributed between the company, but not necessarily globally distributed. So those are hyperledgers. A global distributed technology is what will help a global company. And if you leverage an existing blockchain, what global blockchains can you find? A Bitcoin blockchain, Ethereum blockchain, Bitcoin Cash blockchain, these are completely global. And if you set up your interest on one of these blockchains, it is instantly time-stamped, it is instantly global, it is instantly immutable. If you have any kind of serious valuables that you want to make list of, including your company's worth, that is, if it's worth that amount of value, you should straight away go on to an existing blockchain. And the reason I'm giving you these existing blockchains better is because they are secured by people around the world. You don't have to necessarily sit there and secure this network. The network is already secured by everybody's computer. So it gives you that leverage already. It's a secure network, and you straight away putting it on that. And then your
I have an issue that will the customer accept this globally distributed blockchains, or will they want to have their own blockchain built from scratch? I mean,
when you have your own
the globally distributed blockchain, do I have to pay any royalty to anybody? For example, if it is R3 Corda, if I am using, I have to pay a monthly fees to them or not?
So when you're using a distributed ledger technology, which is a global blockchain like Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, and Ethereum, you don't have to pay anyone, but you are actually paying for the transactions itself. So that means if you have 10 transactions a day that wants to be embedded on the blockchain, now if you can have your own ledger, you can have your own blockchain. That is called Hyperledger, of course, because it's not necessarily global. In your Hyperledger, you may not have to pay anything, but then because you're not paying, it is less secure and less really useful in the future. But you want to jump straight from nothing to everything on the existing blockchain. Your existing blockchain may not ask you for a fee to enter and exit to usage, but every time when you are making and embedding a transaction on it, that means in Ethereum, if you send a transaction with a fee paid, you can embed a document. A document could be in your case, your logistics bills, your manufacturer to distributor to the end product, end user. You may have 3 bills. How much was produced and how much moved to where, and from there, how many was sold to the distributors or to the customers. If you have that kind of a document that you have to embed every time in a blockchain, that's how you're able to timestamp and secure it, right? In an existing blockchain, when you do that, every time when you put in this document, you have to pay a fee. Because you're not doing any value transfer, you're just paying zero, maybe just pay 1 Satoshi, but you're paying maybe 5,000 Satoshis as a fee to move that document on the blockchain. And that document eventually gets saved there, it's timestamped, and you know that it's immutable for the future. So that fee is what is now is a cost to your using the existing blockchain. So in the existing blockchain,
what is the amounts that usually they charge per 1,000 transactions?
So if you were making 1,000 transactions, it depends on if you can put all those 1,000 transactions in one ledger and one block and one transaction. If all that fell in that 10 minutes, then you can do that. You can put all those hashtags together. If you've heard of Merkle root, you can use Merkle root to reverse these tags. Put all your 100 transaction, your documents hashes in that Merkle root. Eventually, you will get one out of it. That one you can put it on the blockchain by making a real value transfer, which is with Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash. But now with Bitcoin, when you do, there's a fees are very high. So every time when you put in a document on it, you're actually paying minimum of at least $2 to $3. But if that is feeling high for you, then you can pay for Bitcoin Cash blockchain, which is much cheaper. You're paying only close to 1 cent. Actually, you make 10 transactions in 1 cent.
Okay.
So those kind of blockchains are very useful. So you can have multiple documents listed on it. It's a new way of decentralized control system on the ledger system. So you can totally use these. I would suggest to use a Bitcoin Cash blockchain because Ethereum is also very expensive nowadays. Before Ethereum was much cheaper. At the time when I was using an app called uproof.com, in uproof.com, I would send out a transaction on Ethereum for just as low as 7 paise. But today it's not possible. I have to spend at least 35 rupees to make a transaction on Ethereum. But if I'm doing at an IP level, if I'm putting in a document which is intellectual property level, 35 rupees is nothing because instantly it will get recognized on the blockchain of Ethereum. But Bitcoin Cash blockchain is even more cheaper. So you make a transaction of say 500 Satoshis and pay another 500 Satoshis, you're totally spending only about 10 paise. And in 10 paise, you're actually sending a document which is timestamped and foolproofed. You can never change that document. You can always check it to say how many was produced and how many was sent to the distributor and how many distributor had in control of. Things like that, whatever that fits your board in your company.
Okay. Do you know any companies in Bangalore who could be interested in partnering with me? Because there is a customer who is interested, but we are in a different technology. We are new to blockchain.
So what is the nature of your business and how do you want to, if you give me a little bit more insight, then I can help you out.
It's a logistics company which is transacting a number of parcels every day. Okay.
Okay, logistics, and what parts are you doing logistics on?
These parcels, they want to have end-to-end tracking mechanism.
Parcels you're talking about, yes.
Parcels, yeah.
And so, what kind of number of parcels do you think you would be handling per day?
That is what I thought. It could be thousands per day.
Thousands. So every 10 minutes you need to have a separate ledger. Maybe every 10 minutes you compile everything into one, maybe like 1,000 parcels into every 10 minutes transaction.
Right, right.
So we can help you out with that depending on how deep you want to go into. Definitely, we're going to be working on Bitcoin Cash blockchain, and we give you a supporting token along with that, saying as an SLP token. It's called a simple ledger protocol, and these tokens will be your passes will get tokenized, and then the idea of using blockchain is in different formats. How you use internet for your company is also different, right? And not every company uses internet the same way. Similarly, even the blockchain, if you want to use these parcels to be secure, to make sure the parcels are not locked anyway, you can tokenize them and then use these tokens to verify each parcel, or even just have a ledger to manage your thing on the Bitcoin Cash blockchain. So if you're specific on Bitcoin Cash blockchain, you can approach us. We have developers who are working on it already. The idea is for us to bring in economics through Bitcoin Cash, because that's the way it is possible, not with Bitcoin or Ethereum, because you're not able
And
to.
how long do you think this development work will take, and how many months?
So we expect around 6 months we are able to build something like this for people, which we are working on already. Is also not longer than 6 months. We've worked it on a good product before. So if
How many people will it take?
It'll take about 5 people for 6 months, and but then these 5 people are like the great developers. They work
Yeah,
very
I understand. Yeah.
part of
Difficult to find good guys.
yeah.
Okay, I like to talk to the client. I like to tell him what my plan is, and then only I can take it further.
Sure. You can take your time, and these kind of projects don't just come around very quickly because people don't understand it that easily.
Right.
And then for them to get takes time to understand, and then eventually go ahead and implement something like that for their company. Take your time, and otherwise, where did you get our Meetup link from? From the meetup.com?
Meetup.com, yeah.
Okay, so on meetup.com, you can directly message me, so you can leave a message on that if you're interested in the future.
Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome. So, guys, I think we've had a good amount of time for our meetup. And if there is anyone else who wants to join or who wants to go ahead, Santosh, you're the person who I can ask. If you want to talk to us any more longer, let's continue.
No, that's it. I wanted to get an idea of which one to use, how long will it take, the cost factors, and now I had to start talking to the customer about involving a second party onwards. So if everything works out, I could get in touch within a month or two.
Sure. So we'll be looking forward to chatting with you soon then.
Sure. Thanks.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, guys, and thanks a lot again. This meetup was brought to you by Instacrypto, cryptocurrency exchange for Indians, and available on the Google Play Store. We do not provide wallets. Our Instacrypto's idea is to allow people to learn a little bit about cryptocurrency and gain knowledge by holding your own cryptocurrency with you. And also, we allow payments via UPI only. So no wallets provided in Instacrypto, and we do not take credit cards and debit cards for allowing people to buy and sell cryptocurrency. Well, thank you very much, and I'll take your leave. And guys, have a nice weekend and enjoy the rest of the day of Ganesh Chaturthi. Bye-bye.